Well, good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Dialogue with the Dean using the Facebook Live feature. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. It's going to be a great time for us to learn about the 150th anniversary celebration of Purdue University. And so we're glad that you're with us. Just a reminder that if along the way you have questions or comments that you would like to communicate to us, you can use the comment feature there in Facebook, and our team is standing by monitoring those. And at the end of our dialogue today, I'll come back to that, and if there are any questions or comments, we'll address those at the end. Well, today we are going to be talking about the 150th anniversary celebration of Purdue University, celebrating the giant leaps that Purdue has taken in the past, present, but really thinking about the future, our future as a land-grant university, and how we continue to contribute to society and our role as a university. And it is my pleasure to have with us today Dan Hassler.
Thank you.
Who is the Executive Vice President for Communications for Purdue University. Dan, welcome. It's great to have you over with us today, and I'm going to jump right into some questions. We've got this theme of giant leaps. Tell me, how did we land on giant leaps as the theme of our celebration?
Well, you know, it's actually a lot of fun. We have, as you've mentioned, a year-long opportunity to talk about, we'll talk about our past a little bit and all the great accomplishments, but really a forward-thinking year to talk about what are we going to do in the future as we attempt to solve some of mankind's biggest issues. Actually, a group of faculty about a year ago thought of the idea of the campaign and of the Ideas Festival, but Giant Leaps really comes from something that's going to have an anniversary in about 50 years. Neil Armstrong, great Purdue alum, took his step onto the face of the moon. Giant Leaps represents something that's iconic. It is something completely and totally Purdue. And it also represents an idea that's so much bigger than just that moment. We all have an opportunity as a university or as individuals to take our own giant leaps in life. They usually are after lots and lots of hard work, but we thought that it represented an aspirational vision that, you know, it's about taking those giant leaps across every endeavor for the university.
You mentioned the Ideas Festival, and that really is the centerpiece of the year-long celebration. So tell us, tell our listeners, what is the Ideas Festival?
Well, so we were really wanting this year, again, to celebrate some of the things that Purdue has done in the past, whether it's Amelia Earhart or Neil Armstrong or the 23 astronauts or you name it. But we really wanted to focus the effort on looking forward. What are we going to do? What are we going to be? What is our role in the next 150 years? So a group of faculty about a year ago, led by Chris Ladich and Mark Lundstrom, worked on and thought about, so where are the great areas of need for future endeavor? They landed on four basic areas: space and space exploration, sustainability in a growing population, artificial intelligence and its role not only in doing our work, but its role on humanity, and health and longevity. What happens if we find ourselves living for 150 years? The great thing about these themes, not only do they represent the big areas of issue and opportunity for mankind, it also happens to be in Purdue's sweet spot. If you look at the technologies, the skills, the faculty, the students at this school, we have lots of power in those four areas across all of the university, across all the colleges. Most of the problems in these areas are multidisciplinary in nature. It's not going to be one faculty or one discipline that solves any of them. And so it represents a big umbrella. It represents areas where an entire university can come together and dialogue towards how do we make things better and what's Purdue's role in that in the next 150 years.
Yeah, case in point, prior to starting the Facebook Live, you and I were talking about a potential speaker coming in and someone who was really in the artificial intelligence space, but really thinking about artificial intelligence and the impact it will have on healthcare and medicine. And it's a perfect example of where two of these themes intersect and will clearly intersect in the very near future and impact all of our lives.
Almost every one of these topics needs thought and ideas and input from multiple areas. Another example like that would be in space travel. We'll have Scott Kelly coming in not too many months. And it would be easy to just assume that that was going to all be about, gee, how do we get a rocket that can get a man to Mars? But Scott Kelly's one of the few people that has spent a year, actually the only person that spent a year in space. Turns out there are issues with that. How do you keep a man or a woman healthy for the travel and the time it takes to get to Mars? That's health and longevity.
Absolutely. So we're about halfway through the year. We've had several speakers already. So who've been some of the high-profile speakers
I'll tell you,
we've already had?
well, first of all, I want to encourage everybody out there, if you have not been on the Giant Leaps website, please go take a look, because you'll learn all kinds of things about what's happened at Purdue. All the things that have been done have been archived there in video format. We'd love to have you, if you can't join us in person, follow along. Barry Barish was a fascinating one. Barry Barish came in from Harvard, a Nobel laureate. He has for the first time, identified gravitational waves. What that has to do and say to travel and how we navigate in space may be a question of gravitational waves. The place was packed. I never knew we had so many people wildly interested in the waves that emanate from two colliding black holes far enough away that nobody knew the black holes existed. It was just absolutely incredible.
I'm impressed that you could even talk about it.
Just go to some of these things.
Yeah,
It blows your mind
Yeah.
up. Ali Rezai, a neurosurgeon, came and spent 3 days with our engineers, working on ways that our engineering group could apply technologies to help in the area of neuroscience. Everything from all manners of mental illness to pressures in the brain to problems with the eye. Again, bringing engineers together with neurosurgeons to really make magic happen. It happens every week, and it's impossible to relate to all of them. I just really encourage everyone to take in some that you might be interested in. They're really fun.
So for our listeners, they can go to the website. But just to give us a glimpse as we look forward into the final months here, what are some of the other Ideas Festival things on the horizon?
Look for a 3-day summit on cybersecurity. Again, cybersecurity is one of these things that's impacting virtually every one of those areas, whether it's in artificial intelligence and how we keep these internets of the thing from going crazy, to managing our own personal health data, to all manner of things in cyber. We spend a lot of time on that, and we're really excited. Future of warfare. Unfortunately, there are all kinds of technologies being developed all around the world to either create weapons of war or protect ourselves against them. Again, crosses health and longevity, crosses artificial intelligence, crosses all manners of engineering. You'll see a lot of different disciplines scrumming against that. Caleb Harper will be coming in to talk about the digitization of our food supply. Food supply, as we all know, is continuing to get more and more challenging, just keeping it safe as it goes through the system from farm to your table. All kinds of things like that. There are probably right now scheduled 35 to 40 events. There are going to be more added every day, so keep an eye on that website.
Great. Well, thank you for your leadership for this. It's been an exciting year so far. We look forward to the remaining parts of our celebration.
Well, I'm looking forward to October. October's a big month for pharmacy. Going to be the end month of our entire year, and I think it's looking to be a big explosion of events.
Yeah, October is Pharmacy's highlight month, and we are excited about the opportunities to share some of the great things that are going on in the college specifically, but also to partner with other units and colleges across campus to really bring some great folks to campus. October, we will also be kicking off the 135th anniversary of the Purdue College of Pharmacy. It's hard to believe, but this college has been at the pharmacy business for 135 years.
How cool is that?
And so it's really cool, and we'll be welcoming our 135th class, and we'll be awarding and putting their white coat ceremony forward, and they'll be celebrating their entry into the profession of pharmacy in September. October is our month to be highlighting the Ideas Festival, and we have got a couple of speakers already lined up. We're really excited that Dr. Walter Korshitz, the current director of the National Institute on Neurological Disease and Stroke, will be joining us, and that'll be a really great time for us to have conversations around many of the neurodegenerative diseases that are facing our aging population. And then also we're very excited to have Dr. Sally Sattel joining us, an internationally known author and speaker, and expert in various areas, but she'll be talking specifically about the opioid crisis. And so we'll be adding a couple other speakers, but Dr. Sattel and Dr. Korshitz are already on the boat.
I'll tell you, I think this opioid discussion is going to be wildly important. We know that it's a huge and growing problem in the United States, and what an incredible place for pharmacy to play a role in trying to solve the problem.
And last month, actually, we had our topic of this dialogue with the dean was our Boiler Works, which is our community engagement project that is focused on the opioid project and opioid problem. And we really are trying to do and lead a multidisciplinary effort that includes pharmacy and nursing, Purdue Extension that has offices in every county, Regan Street Center for Healthcare Engineering, IU School of Medicine and IU, and really work together along with the state of Indiana to address the opioid crisis, and having a summit while Dr. Sattel is here, and really giving the opportunity for our students to interact with people like Dr. Sattel, to stimulate ideas in the students, is really a very exciting proposition. And I think part of the Ideas Festival isn't just the public-facing talks, but it's also giving the students here at Purdue University the opportunity to interact with some of the great thinkers of the current age, stimulating the thoughts in their own mind, because they will be the leaders in the future.
And to be purposeful about finding their own personal giant leaps.
Yeah, exactly. So it's an exciting time. We'll also be celebrating a distinguished alumni reunion. We'll be celebrating our annual donor brunch and celebrating the tremendous contributions that our loyal donors and friends continue to make to the university and the college.
With 135 years of alumni, we ought to have a bunch back, huh?
Yeah, we're going to have we'll have a bunch. It'll be a very large group, and those are the celebrations, again, when we see what we've accomplished so far, but we know that there is so much more to come as we look to the future. That's really what this celebration is.
It's going to be a great October and a great year.
Well, people need to go to the website. I know that there are some other things that have yet to be announced for October, but October 2019, homecoming October 2019 is going to be an outstanding time. So you want to make plans now to be on campus for homecoming this fall, because it's going to be a tremendous time. Lots of surprises.
Lots of surprises.
And so we want to watch the website and watch the news for those. But you want to make the plans now. You know, if you don't know, the Union Hotel is going to be closed for renovation. So I think hotel rooms are going to be at a high commodity next fall. So you want to make your plans now to make sure you've got some place to stay. But you want to join us here at Purdue University.
Absolutely.
In October.
Look forward to you.
Want to check with the staff, see if we've had any questions or comments, and I see that there have been none, but know that as you listen to this video or watch the video going forward, if you'd like to make a comment, that you can go ahead and do so. Also want to make sure that you know that in the archive of our Facebook Live videos, they're there for you to watch the previous months as well. You can like those videos, help us share those videos to get the word out of all the great things that are happening here at Purdue University. Well, Dan, thank you for joining me today. It's just great having you over here, and we just enjoy spending time with you. Thank you to all of you who are watching or will watch the video, and we look forward to seeing you again next month. Thanks.
Boiler up.
Boiler up.